Yeah, we might not be having an intro for a while. So, Yotes lose 4-3 in overtime to the Winnipeg Jets, the new version of what the Coyotes once were. And just know that this is about to be it's about to be a very loud video. Because, okay, a lot of people might look at this and say, hey, Tim, they got a point. They got a point out of this. Isn't that an improvement? Isn't it an improvement that they actually stayed tied until the last seconds of the game and then, hey, they lost in overtime? Sure, you can be positive about that. I choose not to be because this is 12 straight losses. 12 straight. I do not care if we got a point out of this. I don't care if it was like back in the day when this was like it would end in a tie and that was it, which, by the way, our longest streak for losing was back in 2003-2004 when we went 15 games straight without winning a game. And in that time, it kind of doesn't count because the games ended in ties, but I guess the NHL considers it part of, the losing. If you tie, you lose, that kind of idea. So I'm going to go with that. We are 3 losses away from tying a franchise record, and it's not a good record to tie, nor is it a good record to beat. So let's, maybe try not to beat that record, please. And this is a team that 12 games ago, they were 2 points out of a wild card spot. Can you believe that? This team was 2 points out of a wild card spot, and you want to know what's better? They had 2 games in hand. If they won those 2 games, and the team that's in the wild card spot right now, or at the time, I suppose, lost those 2 games, guess what? We're in the playoffs. But no! We, being the Coyotes, because we can't have a good season at all. There always has to be something. There has to be something that ruins everything for us. We go for 12 straight games where in the entire time we get 2 points and they're both on overtime losses. Woo! So we get into the first period, but before we get into the first period, I just want to mention that the Jets broadcast, because God forbid that I get the Coyotes broadcast, Jets broadcast brings up that if the Coyotes want to do well in this game, they have to at least withstand the first 5 minutes of the game because the Coyotes are really bad for giving up the early goals. And, I kind of laughed because, they don't have any faith in us. Why would they? So I wrote it down. I went and marked it. Apparently, 3 minutes later, they have to go and prove everyone's doubt correct by letting in the first goal of the game from the Jets. I will say it's a bit of an ugly goal. The puck was tossed into the zone, and it hit the boards, kind of bounced off funny. Scheifele was there to retrieve it, and he puts it in the back of the net. It's still, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. It was within the first 5 minutes. Everyone just let out a long sigh. I swear I could hear it from here. Everyone in Arizona, congratulations. Your sigh has made it to Alberta. There's a problem with turnovers again, soft passes, Schmaltz kind of schmaltzing a bit. But I shouldn't say that for too long because Schmaltz has 2 goals in this game. That's great. Actually, I will say Schmaltz looked really good in this one. However, there were still some schmaltzy things. Krause ends up trying to do too much with the puck, gives it up. Good news is Ingram's actually up to playing the game, whereas the rest of the team decides they're not going to play. Ingram's about the only one who did anything. Winnipeg gets a penalty. Kesselring fights Lowry. Lowry bodies him, real bad. Coyotes get a power play. And on this power play, Schmaltz scores when the Jets the puck goes off Hellebuck. And there was no coverage in front to make sure that the puck wasn't going to stay in the slot. Schmaltz finds it first. He just puts it into the empty net. It's a flip in. It was the first goal for the Coyotes, and it looked really neat. It was really good. I wanted them to continue doing that. Guess what? They did it! Moser goes off for tripping. Jets do a bit of a tic-tac-toe play. It goes into the back of the net again. 2-1. And we get called for interference. Velarde does a really nifty play, forehand, backhand, that kind of thing. He basically duped Ingram out of the net and then put the puck in backhand. I don't even know what to call it. It was just straight up deception the entire time, and it was cool, but it was for the wrong team. So we get into the second period. We're down 3-1. And I just want to mention, if we had shown up like we showed up in the second and the third period, everything would have been fine. The Jets only scored in the first period and overtime. We would have been fine. Because in the second period, Valimaki's got the puck at the point, he passes it down, Michelli tips it in, there's a goal for the Coyotes. That brings us within one. Hellebuck and Ingram basically trade saves. It was incredible to watch. It was basically a goalie's game for the second period. It was really good. It was good. Get into period 3. Kerfoot's behind the net. He kicks the puck back. It finds Schmaltz. Schmaltz puts it in. Tie game. It's a new game now. And if we had been playing like we had been playing in these last 2 periods, we would have won the game. But because we do not know how to show up in the first 12 games straight, we end up losing, and then losing, and then losing. I could go on for all 12. I'm not going to do that because that would be too long a segment in this video. We almost have an incident where there's too many men on the ice because what a Coyotes thing to do. It used to be the least thing. Now we do it. Is this dumb? Tourney's jumping up and down on the bench, yelling at the boys like, hey, guys, there's too many of you. It doesn't really cost us, which is good. We go into overtime, and even in overtime, it was such a quick overtime. Oh, boy. Dursley and Krause are going down to, try and score the game-winning goal. Dursley takes a shot. It's a really good shot, but he's not watching where he's going, or Krause isn't watching where he's going. One of the two. The follow-through ends up with them two colliding, and suddenly, oh no, it's a 3-on-1. And the Jets score. All of that to come back. All of that to fight. And to get back into it so that they at least have the opportunity to win 2 points. I mean, they got 1. Woo. But they had the opportunity to win 2 with the momentum coming off of the last 2 periods where they kept the Jets from scoring at all. And they go and run into each other. And these players get paid millions? Yeah, it happens. It definitely happens. There's definitely times where, sometimes the players look amateur. It happens. 12 straight losses. 12 straight. And as far as I've seen, the Arizona Coyotes fan base seems to be very much, hey, look, you guys got a point. We're doing okay. Yeah, we're still in rebuild. We're giving ourselves excuses so that we have some form of sanity. Sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture and realize, hey, sometimes if a team sucks and there's no explanation for it, we can be a little mad about it. We are fans of a professional hockey team. We're fans of a hockey team that's faced scrutiny after scrutiny. We're fans of a hockey team that's currently facing scrutiny. And at the very least, in the arena that they're in, with the ownership that they have, with the ownership that they've had, with the coaching and everything that's just going on, the situation happening with Adam Ruzicka, Galchenyuk, I think. There was that. The situation with Adam Ruzicka is he posted a story on Instagram where he was very much indulging in an illegal substance, and same day he was basically terminated. So that's that situation, just in case anyone was in the dark about that. With all the scrutiny, at the very least what we could have is at least a team that fights to play. Because, yeah, this game was close. What about the last 11? What about the fact that we only started playing in the second period? We're allowed to be a little mad. Next game is on Tuesday. It's against Montreal. If we don't win this one, I don't know. I might have to switch to the Oilers. I might have to do that for the rest of the season for my sanity. So in the meantime, stay howling, go Yotes. I'm just going to end it here. I'm done.